am
Suárez,
Wendy
vengo aquí
Solares
como
Suárez.
mamá de familia.
I am here, and I
Yo, en
come
mi
before
casa
you as a
somos
mom.
mi esposo,
In
mis
my
hijas,
house,
mis
we
papás y yo.
live
I
my
come as a mother.
children, my husband, my
my 5
parents,
daughters, and my parents living with us at home.
Sí. Entonces,
myself.
Vemos en las
So
noticias que dicen
we
que
see
el
in the
costo de
news
vida ha
often
bajado.
that the cost
Sin
of
embargo,
living
cuando voy
has
a
gone down.
hacer,
However,
las compras
when
para
I
la
go
comida,
to the
veo
store
que los
to
precios,
purchase
en
food,
vez de
I
bajar,
see
están
that
subiendo.
prices
I watch
instead are
in the
going
news
up.
that the cost of life has improved, but when I go to the grocery store, prices are up.
Antes yo me gastaba unos $200
I used to
semanales
spend
en comida.
$250
Ahora me estoy
a week
gastando
in
hasta
food, and
$350.
now it goes
So
up
we
to
went from spending
$350.
$200 to over $350 in groceries.
No nada más ha subido la comida, sino
Not only
utilidades como
do
electricidad,
I talk about
agua,
food,
la
but
ropa, todo está muy
utilities,
caro.
The same
clothes,
for
everything
utilities
is
like
much more
water
expensive.
and energy, and clothes.
Sí, y bueno, pues yo soy de la clase media y trabajo
I am
muy
middle
fuerte,
class,
igual que
and I
todos de la
work
clase media trabajamos
a
muy
lot,
fuerte.
and just
Usted
like
acaba de
everybody else
decir al
in the middle
principio que
class,
somos
we
ambiciosos,
work very
nada
hard.
más que
You
esa
said we're
ambición a
ambitious,
veces
but
es
that
dura de
ambition,
mantener
sometimes it's
cuando
really
vemos que está
difficult to
subiendo y no
keep up with
podemos
because we see life is
mantenernos
going up,
al
and
tanto o
we
salir
just
adelante.
simply cannot
I'm a
go ahead. We
middle-class
can't move
working
ahead.
Women, and you said we're ambitious, but it's hard to maintain that ambition when conditions are so hard, so challenging.
Yes. Mi pregunta es entonces,
So
¿qué va a hacer
my
usted
question
para
is
ayudarnos
as
a la
follows.
clase
What are
media
you going
a
to
que
do
no
to
nos
help the
destruya
middle class
el costo de
so
vida?
that the
How are you
cost
going to make sure that
of
the cost of
living
life doesn't
does not destroy
the
us?
middle class?
Thank you for the question and your point. Listen, I know prices are too high still. You know prices are too high still. And we have to deal with it. Here's how I feel about it. Again, you've heard my story. I come from the working class. I'm never going to forget where I come from. And part of what we have to do is build what I call an opportunity economy, where people have the opportunity, like you have described, for you to be able to work hard and your 5 daughters have an opportunity to then do what they and what you aspire for them to be able to do without having to worry about just getting by. I want you to be able to get ahead. So here's my plan. It includes what we need to do to bring down the cost of, for example, groceries. One of the issues I'm going to be taking on is price gouging, which is these corporations and companies who jack up prices unnecessarily, usually around people who are desperate. It's going to be about bringing down the cost of living. For example, part of my plan is to expand the child tax credit so that young families will get $6,000 during the first year of their child's life to help them be able to buy a crib, a car seat, the clothes, the things that they need during that critical stage of their child's development. Housing from Los Angeles. You know, I live in Los Angeles too. Okay, so LA, all over the country, we know we have a housing shortage. And it's jacking up the price of housing both for buying and renting. Part of my plan is to work with the private sector. Listen, I'm a capitalist. I believe in the strength of the private sector to create jobs and to work with government to strengthen the economy. Part of my plan is to work with developers and builders to build 3 million more housing before the end of my first term. And my plan is to give first-time homebuyers a $25,000 down payment assistance to be able to just get their foot in the door to buy a home, which is the source, as you know, of intergenerational wealth. When you have a home, when you have home ownership, that's how you build up capital and equity that you can use then for other purposes. My plan includes small businesses. You know, so growing up, we lived in an apartment above a child care center, which was owned by the woman that helped my mother raise us. We called her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I know who our small businesses are. And they are business leaders, they are civic leaders, they are community leaders, they hire locally, they mentor, and they need more support. Small businesses are part of the backbone of America's economy. Part of my plan is for startup small businesses. The tax deduction right now is $5,000 to extend it to $50,000. Knowing what that will mean to tap into the ambition and the aspirations that people have, knowing that unlike my opponent, who got handed $400 million on a silver tray and filed for bankruptcy 6 times, most people don't have that access to the wealth that is necessary for them to start a small business. But when they do, it's to their economic benefit as well as the economic benefit of the community. So these are just some of my plans, but there's another one that's more specific to, I think, your circumstance. And it's about also dealing with the sandwich generation. This is what we call people like how you have described your life, people who are raising young children and taking care of their elder parents. And so they call it the sandwich generation because they're kind of in between. And, you know, when my mother was sick, I took care of her. And and I hope your parents are well and healthy, but when you are taking care of someone who is older, and for my mother, I mean, that meant trying to cook what she had a taste for eating. It meant trying to give her soft enough clothes that wouldn't irritate her skin, make her try to laugh, you know, then bring a smile to her face. And taking care of someone in that situation, it takes a lot out of people. And if you are raising young children at the same time, and if you want to work, it's almost impossible to do it all. And so many people in that situation are having to leave the workforce, jobs they may love, because there's no way they can do it all. So here's my plan, and I just made an announcement about it, to allow Medicare to cover the cost of home health care for seniors. Medicare now doesn't do it. Now, the situation is that that family or that individual would have to almost go broke and lose everything to apply for Medicaid. I'm saying, no, this is a matter of dignity. It's born out of a personal experience. Let's Medicare cover that so that you can have the home care that allows your parents to stay with you or stay in their own home and have the dignity of doing that, but have somebody there who you don't have to break your savings, who can be there to prepare a meal for them or help them put on their sweater. So these are some of my plans, and the way I think about it is all of this is about building opportunity for people, and in particular the middle class, seeing people as a whole human being, knowing that when you just lift up a little bit of the weight, people thrive and we all benefit. And so that's how I think about the economy. But we got to bring down prices, but we're still, the last numbers just today, I think it was, inflation is now down to 2.4. So we call it the macroeconomic numbers are looking good, but it still doesn't change the experience you're having at the grocery store, and we still need to deal with that.